Hey everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Monday Movie Pickup. Yeah, I got the Mamma Mia movies. Why not? I really enjoyed Mamma Mia Here We Go Again last year. I thought it was a great, really silly, fun musical. Why not? I enjoyed it. I really don't like the first movie, but, you know, if I own the second movie on Blu-ray, I kind of want to own the entire series on Blu-ray, so I went to the pawn shop. I did find this collection there. This was recently released, so, yeah, I just bought it, and it was for cheap, so now I own both movies. I own the second one, whatever. Second one's a great time. If you don't believe me, if you love musicals, just go give it a watch. We got other things here too, like Star is Born, which that was one of the best movies of last year, I thought anyway. I bought this at the pawn shop, and it's been a while since I've been getting to the 2018 new releases anyway. There's a lot of movies I liked from 2018 that I have yet to own in my collection. I found this, bought it for cheap, but then I found out in 2019 they actually released a different version of the movie on Blu-ray. I think it includes new scenes, new deleted scenes in the movie, and new special features, so maybe this version isn't worth having at the moment. I'd rather have the Blu-ray that has everything, but, you know, I haven't heard anything about it, so I've been trying to get the whole Saw collection for the last couple of years. Actually, I got every single movie except the first one. I would only see them at pawn shops, and this one, I kept not finding it. I finally got it though, so now I have the whole series. We have Batman, or Son of Batman anyway, and Batman Bad Blood. So these are the animated movies. I've been collecting the animated movies as well. I know they also released a collection just recently for about $80 that has a bunch of the animated movies. To me, it wasn't worth getting that because I already had so many of the animated movies anyway, so might as well just keep trying to buy them separately. And I would usually get them at pawn shops, but for a while I hadn't seen any. Well, now I finally saw some with slipcovers even, which is kind of neat. And it's of two of the, you know, animated movies they made in the last decade. At this point, I have very few left to get. I love you, man. I love Paul Rudd. Always kind of have. And I remember digging this movie. It wasn't the funniest movie of all time, but it kind of had a charm to it. And here's another movie that, like, it just joins the list of movies that I should have owned a long time ago. Juno, which is another movie I saw when it was released. I really liked it. It's been a couple years since I've seen it, but I always really liked this movie. I figured I'd give it a watch. This has a lot of special features, by the way. There's a lot of special features for this movie, but I know that's not why you are all here. I know what you're here for. You're here to see it. The collection. So, I buy this, and I thought it would be like a little, you know, okay, here's a Blu-ray, by the way. I thought it would be like, you know, a little smaller, and it would pack all the movies into kind of like a slip disc system. But no, it's just a giant, and it's incredibly skinny, by the way. But it's like a book. Just look at this thing. It's a book, and it's got tons of artwork on it, and basically every single movie that was made for Godzilla from 1954 to 1975. They call it the Showa era. The first 15 films made in the Godzilla series. And here's the thing about Godzilla. So you got the American movies, pretty easy to get. The 1998 Blu-ray, you can find it all the time. The 1998 version, no one really likes. Then you got the 2014 movie, which is pretty easy to find. They have the new movie, which, I mean, in that series, King Kong's part of it. But, you know, all those movies are really easy to find. You got the later Godzilla movies that were made in Japan. Sony has the rights to a lot of them, and they've released them on 2-packs, so kind of easy to find those as well. There's a couple of them that are released by different studios, I believe Lionsgate. And then you have Godzilla vs. Biollante, which is out of print, so that's like the only Blu-ray out there that you can't really get your hands on anymore. But then you have all of these movies here. So the first Godzilla movie was released on the Criterion Collection a while ago, actually. It's right here. I bought it. And then they have the sequel, and then you got King Kong versus Godzilla. Now, that was a movie that was made with America, obviously, to have King Kong in it. Very easy to get a hold of that one as well. Universal released a Blu-ray of that quite a while back, and I actually own that one as well. And then you had all these other ones. Mothra vs. Godzilla, Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, Invasion of the Astro Monster, Abira, Horror of the Deep, Son of Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters Attack, Godzilla vs. Hedorah, Godzilla vs. Gigan, Godzilla vs. Megalon, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, and Terror of Mechagodzilla. For years, though, it was like impossible to get them on Blu-ray or even on DVD at times. They had really random releases. So many different companies owned the rights to them. It was kind of hard to get the correct version of them. Some of them would be different. I owned a lot of the VHSs just from pawn shops that I would find, but never really DVDs because they weren't easy to find. And a lot of these never really hit Blu-ray. Well, Criterion has done the work for you. You could still get the later Godzilla movies made after 1975 pretty easily, except for Godzilla vs. Biollante. But all these movies, finally, in one collection. Now, kind of pricey, I'm not gonna lie. This was a lot of money. It was kind of a birthday gift to myself. But the thing is, the Criterion Collection sale is going on at Barnes & Noble right now. I'm not promoted by them or anything. I like letting people know. Usually every year when they do it twice a year, I will go and buy a couple Blu-rays because in a sense it's the best way to get them. You can always go online and go on Amazon and try to get them for cheaper, but for the most part people who are buying Criterions aren't really reselling them, so it's really hard to kind of get a used copy for a lesser price anyway. And then you could go on the Criterion site and just wait for a good sale, but other than that the prices are pretty crazy. During the Criterion sale at Barnes & Noble, everything kind of cuts it in half. Each Blu-ray will end up being like $20 because Barnes & Noble overprices everything to begin with. But you can get every single movie there pretty much for $20, which isn't terrible. That's how much it is on the website itself. But if you buy it at Barnes & Noble, you're going to cut that shipping cost out, which is nice. And you get the Blu-ray that day. So, when it comes to these collections, you actually get them for quite a lesser price. Right now you can get this on the Criterion website for I believe $180. But this was priced at Barnes & Noble for whatever price, but basically I was able to get this for $120 at Barnes & Noble. Still expensive. I spent a lot on that Ingmar Bergman set earlier this year as well, so why was it so important to get the set right away? Well, here's the thing about foreign sets and foreign movies. You never know how long they're going to have the rights for. They recently did all the Bruce Lee movies through Shout Factory. Shout Factory has already lost the rights to those, so those discs are going to be going out of print pretty much. It's going to be kind of hard to get them. They're going to go up in price eventually. You never really know when Toho one day is going to be like, nah, you don't have the rights to it anymore. This set, I mean, it might end up being fine, you never know, but I'm not going to take that chance. If I see it for sale, it's like, you gotta get it. Because you never know with these rights issues. You never know if it's just going to disappear, if Criterion will have the discs go out of print. You just never know what's going to happen. So that's why I made sure to get it right away. I was very excited to have it. And yeah, it is a beautiful set. I'm so excited to finally dig into all these other movies. I've seen the first movie, but like I said, I've pretty much been holding off on digging into this series until there was a way to see all the other movies. Only problem is now I have this Godzilla movie, so yeah, it is a used Blu-ray. I watched the movie, so but I just don't know what to do with it now. I could just go bring it to the nearest Savers like I usually do with some of the stuff in my house that I don't want. But this is a Criterion. I mean, this is a little bit of a higher quality disc and it's pricier. So you know what I'm gonna do? How about this? How about I give the movie away to anybody in the comments? Leave a comment on this video. Say what your favorite Godzilla movie is, or just talk about how you haven't seen Godzilla and what maybe interests you about it. Are you gonna start watching the series? Which in the series interests you the most? Just drop a factoid for me, and in about a week, I will just pick a random comment and I will give you this Blu-ray after I message you. Sound good? It's a little giveaway. There you go. But other than that, thanks for watching the video, everybody, and I will see you next time. Thanks to all my Patreon supporters. For only $7, you can get your own monthly movie review. Ask me to review anything I haven't already. There's also other perks like blogs, exclusive videos, and early access. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And thanks so much for watching this video.